Alright, this is gonna be my first ever video review of an album. I'm gonna start doing album reviews as long as I can do it good and I do it well. And the album I'm gonna do it of is a controversial album, and that's why I'm gonna pick this album to start off my album review career with. It's Megadeth Super Collider. It dropped June 4th, 2013, last Tuesday. And there's a lot of controversy, there's a lot of people that like it, and then there's also a lot of people that don't like it. There's a lot of people that say Megadeth lost it, there's a lot of people that say Megadeth isn't as good as they were, and they're starting to release consecutive albums with 13 and this following that aren't really pleasing to Megadeth. But there's also a lot of people that are arguing, saying there's not going to be another Rust in Peace, there's not going to be another Countdown to Extinction, and this is new Megadeth, and they like what Dave's doing, and they like that this is an album that got released to the public. And I, for one, am going to say, before I even get to this whole video review, I like Super Collider. It's not fanboyism for me as much as it is me seeing past needing a full progressive thrash metal album for me to be able to go through and listen to it more than 2 times and have a review that's not negative about it, and how Dave being Christian or Dave being off drugs is affecting his musical ability. It's an 11-track album. It's got a 45-minute run through. There's 2 extra tracks that didn't make it, and on the Best Buy there's also a version of Countdown to Extinction with Marty and Nick that a lot of people may have picked up. The other 2 tracks are A House Divided and All I Need, or All I Want, sorry. We're going to start off because they released Super Collider as the first single, and then they released the album opener Kingmaker, so I'm going to start with the review of Super Collider, and I'm just going to say basically that Super Collider was a song where I can easily see why there's a lot of people that weren't a fan of Super Collider, and there's a lot of people that may not have liked Super Collider. They may not have liked Super Collider because it's really soft, it's slow going, there's about 2 or 3 vocal tracks that go through for every one of the choruses. It was just soft guitar work. There's not much of a soul. It's more of a melody solo. The drums aren't that powerful. There's not a lot that grabs the attention of people that are just strict thrash metal fans. But for me, I liked the song. For me, I thought the song was positive. I liked the message in the song about God, and I thought that it was just overall a good song. I thought I could sing along to it. The first time I listened to it, I was like, that's not really what I was expecting from Megadeth on a new album. In my opinion, I did like 13, but after about 2 weeks, I was basically done with the album. I can go back on my iPod and I can listen to songs off 13, but I don't usually do a full listen through of 13. I haven't done that since January after the release of 13 in November 2011. When I thought Super Collider was coming, I was like, oh, sick, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. It didn't live up to expectations at first. But then I started listening to it, and I got out of the whole thing of, I'm really expecting something really heavy out of this. And even when they first released Super Collider, I thought it was going to be some controversial political song. But then I listened to his interviews, and I heard it was about God, and it's like, even so, that's kind of cool. But then I went on, and I listened to the song, and I thought the song was pretty cool. I thought the soul, when it grabbed my attention, I thought the drum track was as good as the drum track can be. I thought the bass line was really good. That was Dave Ellefson. It's good to have him back in the band since 13, because without him it kind of sucks, because you could really see the flaws in songwriting and musical life without Dave Ellefson in the band. But Super Collider was a good song, I thought, and I thought the vocals were recorded a little iffy, and I thought the chorus was a little cheesy, but I mean, after about 2 or 3 listens, I fell in love with the song, and I went and listened to it every day 2 or 3 times until I stopped for about a week and listened to my other music, and then Megadeth released that they were doing a competition for another song. It was going to be Kingmaker. It was going to be released through Twitter feed, and I was really happy with this, because then it came up again that Super Collider didn't fully meet expectations when it first came out for me, and I was hoping that this song would be a little better. And I had already heard that Kingmaker was about narcotics and drugs. Now, on that topic, I watched another video review where people said they didn't mind the album, they can listen to it, and there's some people that are going to be able to listen to it and like it. He didn't like it that much, but he said they felt Dave was preaching to him through the album. I mean, in my opinion, Dave's not preaching to me through the album. There's a song about God, and his experience of what he thinks God is and how God's always going to be there beside you. There's songs about the world going crazy. There's political songs. Dave always writes them. We love them. We always have. The political song on this album, the main one, is amazing. There's songs about don't turning your back on a friend. Then there's songs about narcotics and what they do to you, and they're going to come after you if your family does them, and it's going to hurt your life and affect your life. And I mean, in all honesty, we need songwriters like this that come out and just make songs about the world issues. Like, there's not enough of people that come out and do anything but sing about sex and drugs and just going out and partying. That's basically what the musical industry is. And if you complain about being preached to when you're not even being preached to, it's more of his own view on everything, then why not just go listen to pop and give up on this music? And I know that's not what you're getting at by saying you're being preached to, but I mean, it's a lyrical theme. We know Dave writes a lot of controversial lyrical themes. He has ever since 1983 with the release of Killing. But Kingmaker was this was Megadeth. This was a weird style of thrash because there's a lot of people that saying it resembled Children of the Grave, and at first I didn't really think of it. I went back and I listened to Children of the Grave and thought, alright, yeah, I can understand. There's a little thing in the little screeches in the Chris Project's guitar kind of reminded me of Children of the Grave. But in all honesty, I thought it was its own song. I thought the drum track was really good. I actually thought that was one of the top 3 drum tracks Sean Drawer had ever done until I went through more of this album. And I thought that it was just overall a really good song. I thought the lyrics were good. I thought the message was incredible. I thought it was perfectly produced. I thought the solos in it were good, although just like Super Collider, I figured there was going to be a little bit more of a shred fest in it. But overall, Kingmaker for me was a good song. I liked the vocal track and everything. This song for me showed Dave can still sing, and I mean, not really sing. Dave's not much of a singer, but he's been the vocalist of a band for 30 years, and he has millions of fans, so it's good enough for him. It's good enough for me. Next song, number 3, Burn. Now, tracks 3 and 5, Burn and Off the Edge, I thought the riffs kind of resembled each other, and I thought it was a little bit repetitive there, and obviously there's going to be a little bit of flaw in writing 50 new riffs for this album. Like, I mean, they've been through 13 full albums already. They're going to start to run a little dry, but I mean, it's good that there's still creativity. It starts out incredible. There's like a Ying-based style of intro there with Chris Roderick, and that was cool. And then it goes on to, it's just the chorus, and yeah, the chorus is kind of cheesy in this song too, but I mean, like, the second piece of the chorus that comes after, I really like that. I really thought that was well done. I thought the drum track was well done again, especially the outro to the song. The drum track was really good. Bass, there's not much really incredible about the bass in the song, but you don't notice it all the time anyway. It's not a big deal. The guitar work was good. The riff would seem kind of iffy, but I mean, if it was between Off the Edge and Burn that would have gotten a riff that was like a chasing riff, I would have given it to Burn because it goes along with the song a bit better. Again, good lyrical message. It was a cool concept of what to write lyrics about. Solo was solid. I like how the solo starts slow and rips through more and more, and just kind of like fire burning more and more. That was cool. Next song was Built for War. Built for War was the iffy song on the album for me. Now, Grammy.com actually dropped this song on Sunday, June 2nd, and I listened to this song before heading out for the day, and I thought that the harmony in the middle, or 3/4 of the way through the song, I thought that was the coolest part of the song. I thought the riff was a little bit forced. I mean, I thought this was the most thrashy riff of the album. It was a really heavy riff. The guitar riff was cool, but I think between the vocals, the drum track with the double kick, and the riff, I think somewhere in the riff they got a little iffy. And this song for me was the worst of the mixing and the production, because after the first 2 lines of the verse, he just speak Built for War, and I thought that was really cheesy, and I thought that didn't fit in. I thought the song was a little bit too forced thrash metal, more than actually taking a little bit more time on the song and making it a little bit more higher on production. So that's a little iffy for me, but I mean, it was a cool song. And I think this song would have been better if it was about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. They cut it down a bit, kept the harmony, put a little bit more into the guitar solo again, and just kind of didn't have the outro that they did by going through the chorus again. But either way, next song, Off the Edge. Now this song, lyrical message is incredible. We got people going out there eating each other. Off the edge, the world's going crazy. It's perfect. It's what the world is now. It's the world's sick and the world's insane. And Off the Edge completely describes that in the song. Just simply, there's not a lot of work in the lyrics, but the work that's in the lyrics perfectly proves that. Now, Off the Edge, like I said, it seems like a bit of a repetitive riff between Off the Edge and Burn, and they're only 7.5 minutes apart, those two songs, and it's kind of iffy, but I mean whatever. Can't do anything. But Off the Edge was kind of a basic song. The solo was okay and everything. The intro was really. I thought the intro was done really well. There's not a lot special about the song though. It doesn't really grab your attention. It's one of the least solid songs on the album. Dance in the Rain, track number 6. It's the longest playing track on the album, 4 minutes and 48 seconds, I think. This is a song with the collaboration of David Draymond. He had writing credits on the song, and he finished off with about 8 lines at the end of the song. And I thought this was the best song on the album. I thought this and Public Enemy were maybe the two best songs that Megadeth has released in the 21st century. And I don't care what anyone says about Super Collider. There's gems on this album that people from Megadeth fans all the way back from the 80s, people that are 50, people that are 40, people that are 30 that follow Megadeth and buy their albums. There's people that are going to say, wow, these are really good songs, and there's people that are going to say this album still isn't that good. There's just good songs on it. There's good material to go back and listen to. Dance in the Rain, no matter how this album holds up, no matter how the record sales do, even though record sales aren't really much of a style anymore in this day of age of media, Dance in the Rain will hold up, and it will burst through any storm because it is a perfectly produced song. The chord progression is cool, the guitar track is cool. It's a really good drum track by Sean Drover. I really like the beat in it. I really like the way it's produced. And in my opinion, this is honestly, I think, Dave Mustaine's best vocal effort in the entire 30-year history of Megadeth. I thought this was just a really well done song, and everything about it was strong. It was definitely the most solid song on the album. Now, the cover I think the cover is the most exciting song to listen to, and there's people that say the cover on the album is a bad if that's what you can call the best song on the album. And you're not making a good album if that's the case. But Dance in the Rain, in my opinion, is the best Megadeth song on the album, and it competes for best song on the album. It may not be the most appealing song on the album, and it's got that World Needs a Hero kind of vocals in the two first verses, and then it goes on to David Draymond's part, which I thought was done really well. Now the mix of this song is kind of iffy also, because I thought the guitar solo was a little quiet. The drums were maybe a little bit louder than they could have been. The vocals were perfect. The bass was good. The violins and the symphony was good. I just thought that they needed to have David Draymond and the guitar solo turned up, because Chris Brown's guitar solo is incredible in this song. It reminds me a lot of Endgames, how the story ends, guitar solo on a longer screen, along with Dave Mustaine's parts in the solo. And then it goes on to David Draymond doing his vocals, and this is where I really like when David Draymond is singing. That's when I love Sean Drover's drum track. And then we go on to just how good that song is, and that's that. Next is the Beginning of Sorrow. The lyrics have to do with the problems with teenage pregnancies and just what happens to the babies 80% of the time, where they can't be taken care of, or they go into foster homes, or they get adopted. And this song was good, actually. I like the timing, and I like how instead of just doing the verse, chorus, solo, they did verse, chorus, solo, a little bit of progression after that with the timing change, and then it goes into the solo. I really like that. Good opening with David also didn't really grab my attention right off the bat because of the bass. And overall, that was a good song. The Blackest Crow starts off with a banjo and a violin riff, and then there's a drum roll. And then it goes in the song, and I thought the opening vocals in the song were actually very well done. I thought Dave did a really good job of producing that sound to start off the song. And now the chorus kind of loses me musically wise. Now I try and follow the drums and the guitar, and I can't really follow the riff, because I think the riff needs to be a little louder. Again, the mix and the production were iffy, but they're also good on this album. I'm kind of love-hate for that on this album. But nonetheless, I like The Blackest Crow. I thought The Blackest Crow was a really good song. And I think the ending was kind of dumb. I thought they could have ended it a little better. But overall, I thought it was a good song. Next up, Forget to Remember. Forget to Remember, there's obviously a lot of people, just like Super Collider, they're going to say, Forget to Remember is not a good song because it's not Megadeth. If a band like Avenged Sevenfold or something came and did it with Max Shadow vocals, sorry, it would be a really good song. It'd be something that would be really good. But in my opinion, Dave Mustaine does a good job on the song. The guitar riff that opens it and the guitar riff that goes through it is good. The drum track is good. The vocal production is good. The lyrics are good. I mean, this is on Alzheimer's is a problem in my lifestyle. I mean, like with my family, and I mean, this song actually hit me pretty hard, and it's actually one of the saddest metal songs I've ever heard because along with Last Kiss by, that's not metal, but Last Kiss by Pearl Jam, that was a sad song for me to listen to, but it's a sad song for me to listen to, just listening to like the progression of the song, losing their thought and losing the ability to remember somebody and forget to remember with the appropriate name for the song. That was a really smart way to name a song like that. And I thought it was a really well done song. I like Super Collider, I like Risk, I like Cryptic Graves, I like all that stuff that's controversial for Megadeth fans. So yeah, I like Forget to Remember. And there's people that don't like Forget to Remember, but I mean, if you're gonna make a song about God or you're gonna make a song about Alzheimer's, it's not gonna be a shred fest. It's gonna be a song that touches hearts. And I knew before this album came out that going with Universal, there's gonna be some stuff that's gonna be played on the radio, and you're not gonna play Holy Wars on the radio or Peace Cells on the radio. On Symphony, Symphony of Destruction is the most played song on Megadeth in Megadeth history. That's just fact. So obviously they're gonna play some slower stuff because Universal's gonna want some stuff like that. But even so, it's still Megadeth. It's a different style of Megadeth. But I mean, I wouldn't want my favorite band or anyone's favorite band for that matter. Why would you want them to release Rust in Peace? It doesn't work like that. Country artists now and bands like Nickelback are bands that have released some albums, they've made their money, and in 10 years they're not going to exist. There's not going to be bands like Megadeth anymore or Metallica. I mean, Metallica kind of went off the deep end, I think, sawed out, but I mean, that's just my opinion. They're still a great, legendary band. And they, over the 30 years, they've changed their style of music in Megadeth. There's two, that's just progression, and that's, I think, there's a lot of good in that. I mean, I wouldn't want to hear Countdown over and over again because then Megadeth would only be a band for 15 years. Because no one's going to want to buy the same album 5 times. They're going to want to buy something new. They're going to want to listen to something new. And it just adds 11 more songs to discography. Don't Turn Your Back. Now, this song, it was a good song. And like, it's a song that people said they were being preached to. I really like the machine gun style and double bass. And I think Sean overuses it maybe a little bit. But actually, I figured he'd do it a lot more on the song. He didn't. It was kind of a mainstream song, the chorus and everything. But I like how the final two songs of this album are pretty cool shred fest. I mean, there's a good soul progression in Don't Turn Your Back, and I like the bluesy intro and outro in the song. I thought that was really solid. And then it was a good song. And then finally, Cold Sweat. Cold Sweat is a Thin Lizzy cover all the way back from the 1980s, and I'm pretty sure 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. I'm not completely sure where. I don't know what album it's off of. I'm not a big Thin Lizzy fan. Don't question me on that. But Cold Sweat was actually a pretty classic song by Thin Lizzy. It wasn't playing like The Boys Are Back in Town or Jailbreak, but Cold Sweat is a song that gets played. Well, I'm pretty sure most Thin Lizzy fans like Cold Sweat. There's no reason not to. And like I said, it's the most exciting song in the album to listen to. It's a 3 minute 10-second run through, which it's a pretty good song. I thought Dave did an incredible job on the vocals cover. I mean, there's a lot of people that overlook Megadeth for being one of the best cover bands. I mean, Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, like Kiss, Led Zeppelin. Like I mean, there's there's only one cover that was ever kind of iffy for me, and I mean it was just because you're taking a blues song and making it extremely hard thrash, and that was Ain't Superstitious off Peace Cells. I mean I can listen to that song, but it's kind of goofy, and I laugh at it when I listen to it just because Dave's vocals are off and everything. The timing's weird, but that doesn't matter. But this was a really good song, and the solo was incredible. I mean this is by far one of the best set of Megadeth solos I've ever heard. Like I mean, and there's Holy Wars, there's all those songs that have great solos in them. But I really like this one. I like the Eddie Van Halen type tapping style. It's pretty simple for Chris Broderick to do, and I mean, even so, I thought it was a really good song. I thought it was well produced. I thought it was good. I'm not gonna hang up on that though because it's just a cover song that's already been out. It's just redone. And then I'll talk about the bonus tracks. A House Divided. I honestly thought A House Divided probably should have beat off the Edge or Built for War on this album. The House Divided is really cool. It has a cool horn start. It has a weird guitar tone to start, but then the guitar tone picks up. And I really like Dave's vocal delivery in The House Divide. I thought it was really cool. I thought he did a really good job. Drum tracks was cool. I think honestly a lot of Megadeth fans would have rather listened to that than listen to Off the Edge. I think that's true. The vocal message is kind of, I don't know what the vocals are about in The House Divided, but it's a good song. And all I want is a song about what he wants in a girl, and I thought that was honestly the lamest vocal topic Game of Steam could have written. I thought it was really stupid, and I thought the vocals, I thought the lyrical vision of that was very mediocre. But besides that, I thought it was a classic. Um, I don't know. So far, so good. So what? Time period thrash song. I thought it was that unorganized style. It was that unorganized but yet organized style of thrash that Megadeth fans can appreciate. And I thought the music-wise would have been good to have on the album, but obviously I think that the lyrics in the song were goofy and not really Megadeth worthy to be on a Megadeth album in the discography. Maybe just some bonus CDs that you can buy. Maybe they'll play it live or whatever as a joke. But either way, yeah, my rating of Super Collider by Megadeth is a 7.5 or a 7.75 out of 10. It's not worthy of an 8, I don't think. Like, it's a good album. It's a good album. I can listen through it. I've been listening to it a lot, way more than 13. I think it's a lot better than 13. 13 was just basically a bunch of B-side tracks and bonus tracks, and then like 5 or 6 new tracks, and it didn't live up to the expectations that I had of following through it. And it's not as good as Endgame. Super Collider is not as good as Endgame. Endgame is the best album they've released in the 21st century. I'll state that. But this was definitely, I thought it was a very good album, and I just hope that Megadeth takes about 2 years before they take about 2 years to make their next album after they tour a bit and do whatever, because if this album probably would have had about 3 or 4 more months put into the writing process of it, this album would be a little more thrashier and the mix would be better and the recording would have been better. But besides that, Super Collider, Megadeth, I thought it was a really good album. In my opinion, it's worth buying, and that's all I can say. Thanks for watching.